Hello to all the Form 5 students. Today I would like to discuss question number 2. The frequency table below shows the masses in kilogram of newborn babies in a hospital for a month. State the midpoint, lower limit, upper limit, lower boundary, upper boundary, and cumulative frequency of the data. So you are given the table. The table comes with a class interval and number of babies. Number of babies is the frequency. Okay, just imagine that you have so many babies there. You want to do a survey. So how many babies altogether? 9 plus 15, 24, 24 plus 24, 48. 48 plus 30, 78 babies. Okay, some of the babies are very light, 2 to 2.4 kg, 9 babies. 2.5 to 2.9 babies, got 15. 3 to 3.4 kg babies, 24. The most number of the babies are having mass 3 to 3.4 kg. And then we have 20, the mass is 3.5 to 3.9. And the heaviest babies for 4.0 to 4.4. 10 fat babies. Okay, so now we need to find a midpoint. We need to find the lower limit. We need to find the upper limit. And then we need to write down the frequency and cumulative frequency and also lower boundary and the upper boundary. So let's do it together. First of all, we need to find a midpoint, or lower limit, upper limit, lower boundary, followed by upper boundary, and then from the frequency, we will accumulate the frequency so that you will get the cumulative frequency. Right, so I have discussed many times about the frequency table because this is very important in exam. Alright, so now let's form a table so-called as cumulative frequency table. Alright, so the last column is cumulative frequency. We will start with the midpoint and then followed by lower limit, followed by upper limit. Alright, so let's see how to find the midpoint. The lower limit is 2.0. Alright, so 2.5 for each of the class interval. We highlight the lower limit in blue color. 3.0. Always use a highlighter. And then 3.5. And then 4.0. All these are lower limit. Right? So let's copy down. And then let's complete the column for the lower limit. We start with a 2.0, 2.5, 3.0, 3.5, and 4.0. And then for the upper limit, we will do the same. Let's highlight the upper limit. Okay, we have for the first class interval, the upper limit is 2.4. Use a green color. 2.4, and then 2.9, and then 3.4 and 3.9, and finally is 4.4. So we have altogether we have 5 upper limit. Alright, let's copy down and then let's complete the upper limit column. We have 2.4, we have 2.9, 3.4, 3.9, and 4.4. Right, we have completed the upper limit. Now let's do another one. Still remember the midpoint is the lower limit plus the upper limit divided by 2. Right, midpoint is the lower limit 2.0 plus upper limit 2.4 divided by 2. So 2.0 plus 2.4 is 4.4 divided by 2. So we will get midpoint 2.2. That is the first midpoint. After we have the first midpoint, we are going to plus 0.5. How we know it's 0.5? Because you can see for the first lower limit is 2. Second is 2.5. So obviously you have to plus 0.5, which is the size of the class. So every midpoint for the next one, you just plus 0.5. So 2.2 plus 0.5. 2.7 plus 0.5, you get 3.2. And 3.2, you plus 0.5, you get 3.7. Right? And then 3.7 plus 0.5, you will get 4.2. You will observe that it will end with 2 followed by 7. The pattern is there. So we have the last one, midpoint is 4.2. Alright. So we have settled the midpoint. Now we want to settle the lower boundary and the upper boundary. So normally we will settle the upper boundary first. We will take upper limit, we copy the upper limit, and then we will plus with the class size of the class. So it becomes 2.4 plus 0.05. Alright, so it becomes 2.45. So how you get 0.05 is you have to measure the difference is between 2.4 and 2.5. There's a 0.1, right? Divided by 2. 0.1 divided by 2 is 0.05, right? So that means you have to plus 0.05 for the upper boundary. Okay, so then we will shift down to the lower boundary. The 2.45 will become the lower boundary for the second class interval, and the first class interval you always minus out 0.5, right? Because the size of the class is 0.5, so you will get 1.95, which is a bit challenging. This one is not easier. Okay, so that is how you work out your lower boundary, your upper boundary, and then you have to double check, make sure there is no careless mistake before we add on the frequency. The first one is 9, because we need to accumulate the frequency. Accumulate the frequency means we add on 9 plus 15 will be 24. 24 is actually obtained from 9 plus with the 15. The previous class frequency plus the existing class frequency 15. 15 plus 9, so you will get 24 for the second class. Okay, so for the third one, it will be, after we get a 15 plus 9, we get 24. We will take 24. Okay, let's settle down 15 plus 9, 24 first. So the 24 have to plus with the 24. Because the frequency at 3.0 to 3.4 is 24. So we will get 48, right? For the next one. Because we need to take the 24 plus the 24. Okay, the cumulative frequency, it means we add the frequency with the previous one. Alright, you can say that you take 9 plus 15 plus 24, or you can say 24 plus 24, the same answer, right? So you get 48, right? It means what? It means that we actually counted from the beginning, from 2.0 until 3.4. That means below 3.4. That means the babies, those babies mass below 3.4 or below, we have 48. Below 3.4 kg babies, we got 48. That is the interpretation. Below 2.9 kg, the babies got 24. Below 2.4, we got 9. And then below 3.9 kg, the baby's mass below 3.9 kg, we will take 48 plus 20, which is 68. And finally, we will take the 68 plus the final, the heaviest mass of the baby. We have 10 babies, so we will have 78. Meaning that there are 78 babies mass below 44 kg or equal 44 kg. Alright, so that is the meaning of the cumulative frequency. So make sure you really understand how the cumulative frequency come from and the meaning of the cumulative frequency, right? And when you do the cumulative frequency table, you need to make sure you really check the size of the class and also how you find the boundary, lower boundary and upper boundary. We'll start with the upper boundary first, and then we shift down to the lower boundary, and then we minus the 0.5, the size of the class. Alright, so that is the technique of doing cumulative frequency of the data.